My friends, if you are over 60, you must understand something very important. Your legs are the very foundation of your independence. They help you walk, climb stairs, get out of a chair, and even keep your balance so you don't fall. But here's the truth. After 60, your body naturally starts to lose muscle, especially in your legs, and it can happen faster than you think. The good news: there is one simple natural food you can eat each morning that helps stop this loss, rebuild strength, and keep you moving with confidence. Today, I'll share exactly what that food is, why it works, and how it can help you keep your legs strong for years to come. No expensive supplements, no complicated diets, just real food and real results. After the age of 60, something begins to happen inside your body that most people don't even notice until it's already taken a serious toll. You start losing muscle mass at a much faster rate than when you were younger. This is called sarcopenia, and it's not just about looking less toned or feeling a little weaker. This is about the very fabric of your body's strength, stability, and independence. And the part of your body that suffers first and most noticeably, your legs. You see, your legs are made up of some of the largest muscles in your entire body: the quadriceps in the front of your thighs, the hamstrings in the back, the gluteal muscles in your hips, and the calf muscles that help push you forward with each step. These muscles are powerful, but they are also high maintenance. They need constant use and constant nourishment to stay strong. And as we age, both of those things often start to decline without us realizing it. When you were younger, you probably walked more, climbed stairs without thinking, squatted down to pick something up without even a thought about your balance. You may have run, lifted heavy groceries, or played with your children or grandchildren without hesitation. Every one of those movements was a workout for your leg muscles. But as the years pass, daily activity often becomes lighter, movements more cautious, and the frequency of using those muscles at full capacity decreases. That's the physical activity side. On the biological side, your body also changes. Around the age of 30, we slowly start losing muscle mass, but it's a gradual trickle. By the time you hit 60, that trickle can turn into a waterfall. The reason is that your body's ability to build and repair muscle, something driven heavily by hormones, protein synthesis, and cellular regeneration, begins to slow down. Your muscles are constantly breaking down and rebuilding, but when you're younger, the rebuilding happens faster than the breakdown. After 60, the breakdown wins the race unless you actively do something to stop it. Here's where it gets even more concerning. Muscle loss in the legs doesn't just mean your jeans feel a little looser or you can't lift as much at the gym. It means your stride becomes shorter, your walking speed slows down, and your ability to catch yourself if you trip is reduced. The balance you once took for granted becomes more fragile, and the simple act of standing up from a chair can start to feel like a challenge. Now, here's something I want you to remember. Your legs are the foundation of your mobility, and mobility is the foundation of your independence. If you can't walk confidently, you start relying on canes, walkers, or other people for help. And once that dependency starts, it can snowball. Reduced movement leads to even faster muscle loss, which leads to even less movement. It's a vicious cycle. And this isn't just about muscles, it's about life. Weak legs mean a higher risk of falls, and falls are one of the leading causes of injury in older adults. A broken hip, for example, can change a person's life forever. Studies show that after such an injury, many people never regain their full mobility. That's why protecting your leg muscles isn't just a good idea, it's a necessity if you want to keep living the life you love. Another hidden danger of leg muscle loss is its effect on circulation and metabolism. Your legs act like giant pumps, helping push blood back up to your heart every time you move them. When those muscles weaken, circulation suffers, which can contribute to swelling, discomfort, and even cardiovascular issues. Strong muscles also burn more calories at rest, helping to regulate weight and blood sugar. Lose that muscle, and your metabolism slows, making it easier to gain fat and harder to manage blood sugar levels, which, as you know, is especially important for avoiding diabetes and heart disease. Now, why does this process seem to speed up after 60? Several factors are at play. First, your body becomes less sensitive to the muscle-building signals from protein. In your youth, a moderate amount of protein at a meal would send a strong signal to your muscles. Build repair, but as you age, your muscles become harder to stimulate, meaning you need a higher quality, more concentrated dose of protein to get the same effect. Second, your levels of anabolic hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and IGF-1 naturally decline. These hormones are like the project managers of muscle building. They tell your body it's time to repair and grow. When their levels are lower, the construction crew works slower, and the rebuilding process lags behind the breakdown. Third, many older adults unknowingly get less physical stimulation for their legs. Maybe they retire from a physically demanding job, stop engaging in certain activities, or simply move less due to joint pain or fear of injury. The use it or lose it principle is very real with muscle. If your legs aren't challenged regularly with walking, climbing stairs, light resistance training, or even standing from a low chair, they start to shrink. And here's the most important thing I want you to hear. Leg muscle loss is not inevitable. It's not a destiny you have to accept. Yes, the body changes with age, but with the right combination of movement, nutrition, and recovery, you can slow, stop, and even reverse muscle loss, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. I've seen people who could barely get out of a chair build enough strength to walk daily without assistance, all because they gave their body what it needed and stayed consistent. Think of it this way. Every day you have a choice. You can either let your muscles break down a little more, or you can feed them, challenge them, and keep them alive and active. And the first step in making the right choice begins each morning, because what you put into your body when you wake up sets the tone for how your muscles will respond the rest of the day. The right morning nutrition gives your legs the building blocks they need to repair the damage from yesterday and prepare for the demands of today. It's a simple truth. After 60, you can't get away with neglecting your muscles the way you might have when you were younger. Your legs won't just stay strong on their own. They require intentional care. And when you give them that care through movement, through proper fuel, and through consistent habits, they will serve you well, carrying you through your days with strength, balance, and confidence. So remember, sarcopenia might be common, but it's not unavoidable. It starts quietly, but it doesn't have to end in weakness. You can fight it, and you can win, and the victory starts with something as simple as making the right choice each morning. That's what we're going to talk about today, the one food you can eat every morning to stop leg muscle loss fast, and how it works to keep you strong, mobile, and independent for years to come. When you think about strength, most people imagine biceps, shoulders, or maybe a firm core, but the truth is, your real strength, the kind that determines how independent and confident you are, lives in your legs. Your legs are the pillars that hold you up, the engine that moves you forward, and the foundation that allows you to live life on your own terms. When your legs are strong, you can walk, climb, lift, balance, and react quickly if you stumble. When your legs are weak, even the simplest daily activities start to feel like challenges, and for those over 60, that difference can mean the world. Let's talk about independence. Imagine waking up in the morning, swinging your feet out of bed, and standing up without thinking twice. You walk into the kitchen, make breakfast, carry a hot cup of tea without fear of spilling it because you're steady on your feet. You go out to the garden, bend down to pull a weed, stand back up and keep moving. You meet a friend for a walk, take the stairs instead of the elevator, and feel confident doing it. All of these little freedoms are powered by leg strength. Now, picture the opposite. You stand up from bed and feel wobbly. You hesitate before taking that first step because your knees feel unstable. You find yourself holding onto furniture as you move around the house. The idea of going for a walk seems tiring, even a little scary. Stairs? Forget about it. That is the reality for far too many older adults. Not because their heart isn't willing, not because their mind isn't sharp, but because their legs simply can't keep up. And here's the thing, your legs are more than just muscles, they're your balance system. They give you the ability to react quickly when something unexpected happens, like catching yourself if you trip on a rug or stepping sideways if someone bumps into you in a crowd. Without strong legs, your balance suffers, your reaction time slows, and your risk of falling goes way up. And falls are not just minor inconveniences at this age. They can be life-altering. A single fall can mean broken bones, hospital stays, months of rehabilitation, and in many cases a loss of confidence that never fully returns. When I talk to people over 60, I tell them this: your legs are your life insurance policy. That's how important they are. If you protect their strength, they will protect your independence. If you neglect them, you're rolling the dice with your mobility. Now let's think about the connection between leg strength and the things you love to do. Maybe you enjoy gardening, traveling, playing with your grandchildren, or simply taking a morning walk with your spouse. Every one of those activities requires strong legs. Picking up a toddler? That's leg power. Walking through an airport? That's leg endurance. Getting up from a picnic blanket in the park? That's leg stability. Weak legs can silently steal these joys from your life, one by one without you even realizing it's happening, until the day you can't do them anymore. And here's something most people don't realize. Once your legs get weak, your whole body follows. Your upper body might still have some strength, but if your legs can't carry you, that upper body strength doesn't matter much. Weak legs mean you move less, and moving less affects your heart health, your metabolism, your digestion, even your mood. The less you move, the more your muscles shrink, the more your bones weaken, and the more your joints stiffen. It becomes a downward spiral that's hard to reverse unless you start taking action now. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s completely transform their mobility just by focusing on rebuilding their leg strength. They didn't become bodybuilders. They didn't spend hours in the gym. They simply learned the importance of feeding their muscles with the right nutrients and challenging them regularly. Over time, their balance improved, their energy returned, and their confidence soared. They went from avoiding activities to looking forward to them. That is the power of strong legs. One of the most important reasons to protect your leg strength is that your legs house some of the largest muscle groups in the body, and that means they also play a big role in your overall health. Large muscles burn more calories, even at rest, which helps keep your metabolism active. They also help regulate blood sugar, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. And when you move your legs, you improve circulation throughout your entire body, which benefits your heart, brain, and every organ in between. And let's not forget the mental side. Strong legs give you freedom, and freedom gives you confidence. When you know you can walk anywhere, climb steps, or stand up from a chair without needing help, you feel capable. You're more likely to go out, socialize, and stay engaged with life. Weak legs, on the other hand, can lead to fear of falling, which can cause you to withdraw from activities. That social withdrawal can lead to isolation, and isolation can lead to depression. So yes, leg strength can literally affect your happiness. Now you might be wondering, why do the legs tend to weaken faster than other muscles as we age? Part of it is that we naturally use them less in challenging ways. We sit more, we drive instead of walk, we avoid stairs in favor of elevators. Without regular resistance or weight-bearing activity, those big leg muscles start shrinking, and once they start shrinking, it takes deliberate effort to rebuild them. But here's the hope, and this is the message I want you to take to heart. Your legs can be rebuilt at any age. Muscle responds to the right combination of nutrition and activity, no matter how old you are. I've seen people who could barely stand without using their arms gain enough strength in a few months to walk a mile without stopping. And it all starts with understanding that your legs are not just a part of your body, they are the foundation of your independence. That's why in this talk, I'm not just going to tell you what to eat to protect your leg strength. I'm going to explain why it works and how it can make a real difference in your life. Because the truth is, every morning you have a golden opportunity to feed your muscles, protect your balance, and preserve your independence. The choice is yours, and if you make the right choice consistently, you can keep those legs strong, steady, and ready to carry you through all the things you love for years to come. Your legs are your freedom. Protect them like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. And the first step begins with what you put on your plate tomorrow morning. Morning is the most important time of the day for your muscles, especially if you're over 60 and serious about protecting your leg strength. What you do in those first few hours after you wake up can either set your muscles up for repair, recovery, and growth, or it can leave them undernourished and vulnerable to further breakdown. And the truth is, most people don't realize how powerful the morning window really is for keeping their legs strong. Think about it. When you wake up, your body has been fasting for 7, 8, maybe even 10 hours. You haven't eaten since the night before. During that time, your body has been busy repairing itself, running essential processes, and keeping you alive, all while running on the fuel you gave it at your last meal. But here's the problem. While you sleep, your muscles are still breaking down. It's a normal process called muscle protein turnover. Old damaged proteins in the muscle are broken down, and ideally, new proteins are built to replace them. The catch is, after a long night without food, your body is in a net negative state, meaning you've broken down more muscle than you've built. This is especially true after 60 because your body's ability to build new muscle is already slower. Younger muscles can bounce back quickly, but older muscles need a strong, clear signal that it's time to grow and repair. That signal comes from two things: the right kind of movement and the right kind of nutrition. And the first opportunity to send that signal each day comes in the morning. If you skip breakfast or start your day with the wrong foods, say a piece of white toast, a sugary cereal, or just a cup of coffee, you're essentially telling your muscles, hang tight, you're not getting much fuel right now. Your body will keep breaking down muscle tissue to meet its energy needs, and your legs will pay the price over time. That's why the quality of your morning nutrition is so important. Now, let's be clear. It's not just about eating anything in the morning. It's about eating the right type of food that provides your muscles with exactly what they need after a long fast. For older adults, that means high-quality protein combined with nutrients that support muscle function, energy production, and recovery. Protein gives your muscles the amino acids they need to rebuild. Certain vitamins and minerals help your muscles contract, release energy, and stay healthy. And healthy fats can help keep inflammation in check so your muscles recover faster from daily activity. Your legs, being some of the largest muscles in your body, are also some of the hungriest. They need more raw materials to stay strong, and they burn through those materials quickly. If you don't feed them soon after waking, you're missing the most effective window to stop muscle breakdown and kickstart the repair process. I call this the morning muscle advantage. Here's why it works so well. When you wake up, your muscles are more sensitive to nutrients, especially protein. It's like they're standing there with open hands, ready to take in what you give them. The amino acids you eat in your first meal go straight to work repairing damaged fibers, strengthening your muscle tissue, and building new protein structures. If you wait too long to eat, that sensitivity starts to fade, and the opportunity isn't as powerful. Many people think they can just catch up later in the day by eating a big lunch or dinner, but your body doesn't work like that. Protein and muscle-building nutrients work best when they're spread out and timed to when your muscles can use them most efficiently. And morning is prime time for that. Starting your day with a muscle-focused breakfast doesn't just protect your legs, it sets the tone for your whole day. When your muscles are fed and fueled early, you have more energy for movement. That means you're more likely to stay active, which in turn sends your muscles even more signals to stay strong. It's a positive cycle. Good morning nutrition leads to more movement leads to stronger legs, and stronger legs lead to more independence and confidence. It also helps with something called muscle protein synthesis, which is the process your body uses to build new muscle tissue. After 60, your muscles become less responsive to normal amounts of protein, a phenomenon scientists call anabolic resistance. That means you actually need more high-quality protein at each meal to get the same muscle-building effect you used to get from less. And the sooner you give your body that protein after waking, the better your results will be. But protein alone isn't the whole story. Your muscles also need specific micronutrients to function properly. For example, magnesium helps your muscles relax after contraction. Potassium and calcium are critical for muscle contraction itself. Vitamin D helps with calcium absorption and muscle strength. Omega-3 fatty acids can help reduce the inflammation that slows down muscle repair. A good morning food choice will combine several of these nutrients naturally, so you're not just feeding your muscles protein, but also giving them the tools they need to use that protein effectively. And here's something else that often gets overlooked. Morning nutrition can directly impact your balance and coordination later in the day. Weak, underfueled muscles are slower to react, which increases your risk of stumbling or falling. By fueling your legs early, you keep them ready to respond quickly if you need to step sideways to avoid an obstacle, catch yourself if you trip, or simply walk up a hill without fatigue. Some people tell me, but I'm not hungry in the morning. And I get it, years of skipping breakfast can make your body adjust to that routine. But if you want to protect your legs and your independence, it's worth retraining your habits. Even starting with a small, protein-rich option can make a huge difference. Over time, your body will adapt and you'll start looking forward to that morning boost. And the beauty of it is, this doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a fancy supplement or an expensive health drink. There are natural, affordable foods you can find in almost any grocery store that can give your muscles exactly what they need. First thing in the morning, the key is to make it a daily habit, because consistency is what keeps your legs strong over months and years. When you're over 60, you have to think strategically about every choice you make for your health. Your body isn't as forgiving as it once was. If you fuel your legs right in the morning, you're giving them the best possible start to the day. And that choice, repeated day after day, can mean the difference between walking confidently into your 70s, 80s, and beyond, or watching your mobility slowly slip away. So don't think of breakfast as just another meal. Think of it as your first line of defense against muscle loss. Think of it as a daily investment in your strength, your balance, and your independence. What you put on your plate each morning has the power to keep you moving freely for years to come. And today I'm going to share the one specific food that can give your legs the fuel they need to stop muscle loss fast. A food that works with your body's natural rhythms, delivers the exact nutrients your muscles crave, and helps you stay strong, steady, and confident every single day. When it comes to protecting and rebuilding your leg muscles after 60, protein is king, but not just any protein. You need high-quality protein combined with specific nutrients that work together to keep those muscles from breaking down and to help them grow stronger. This is not about eating the biggest steak you can find or chugging down a chalky powder. This is about choosing smart, nutrient-rich foods that give your muscles exactly what they need, in a form your body can use effectively at this stage of life. Your muscles, especially those in your legs, are made up of fibers built from amino acids, the building blocks of protein. When you move, lift, walk, or climb, those fibers experience tiny amounts of damage. That's normal, and it's actually part of how your muscles grow stronger. But the repair process only happens if your body has enough amino acids available to rebuild those fibers. And those amino acids must come from your diet. Here's where it gets tricky for older adults. Your body doesn't process protein as efficiently as it once did. In your younger years, a moderate dose of protein was enough to flip the muscle-building switch. After 60, your muscles become more resistant to that signal, a condition scientists call anabolic resistance. It means you need not only a higher dose of protein, but a higher quality of protein to get the same effect. In simple terms, you can't just eat any source of protein and expect your legs to stay strong. You need protein that delivers all the essential amino acids in the right balance. One amino acid in particular deserves special mention: leucine. Leucine acts like the ignition key for muscle building. Without enough leucine in your diet, your body won't fully activate the muscle repair process, no matter how much other protein you consume. Foods like eggs, dairy, lean meats, certain fish, and specific plant-based sources like soy are naturally rich in leucine and can help give your muscles the signal they need to grow. But protein is just one part of the equation. Your muscles also depend on other nutrients to perform at their best. Let's start with vitamin D. This vitamin is crucial for muscle function because it helps regulate calcium, which is needed for muscle contraction. Without enough vitamin D, your muscles can feel weaker and your risk of falls increases. Unfortunately, many older adults are deficient in vitamin D, especially if they spend little time in direct sunlight. That's why choosing morning foods that naturally contain or are fortified with vitamin D can be such a smart move. Calcium itself is another key player. While most people think of calcium only for bone health, it's equally important for your muscles. Every time your muscle fibers contract, calcium ions flood into the cells to trigger that movement. Without enough calcium, your muscle contractions become less efficient, leading to weakness and fatigue. Pairing calcium-rich foods with vitamin D is like giving your muscles the keys and the fuel they need to run. Then there's magnesium, often called the relaxation mineral. Magnesium is essential for helping your muscles relax after contraction, preventing cramps, and supporting overall energy production. It also plays a role in regulating muscle protein synthesis. Without adequate magnesium, even a high-protein diet won't be as effective in building or maintaining muscle mass. Potassium is another nutrient your muscles crave. This mineral helps maintain the balance of fluids and electrolytes in your cells, which is critical for proper muscle function. It works hand in hand with sodium to transmit electrical signals that tell your muscles when to contract and when to relax. A diet lacking in potassium can lead to muscle weakness, fatigue, and even painful cramps. Omega-3 fatty acids are a less obvious but equally important nutrient for muscle health. Found in fatty fish, certain seeds, and nuts, omega-3 help reduce inflammation in your muscles. Why is this important? because chronic low-level inflammation, which becomes more common as we age, can interfere with your muscles' ability to repair themselves after use. By calming that inflammation, omega-3s allow your muscles to recover faster and grow stronger. And let's not forget antioxidants like vitamin C and vitamin E. These protect your muscle cells from oxidative stress, the damage caused by free radicals that increases with age and can accelerate muscle breakdown. Foods rich in these vitamins not only protect your muscle fibers, but also support collagen production, which keeps the connective tissues around your muscles healthy and strong. When you combine all these nutrients, high-quality protein, leucine, vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, potassium, omega-3s, and antioxidants, you create the perfect environment for your muscles to thrive. You're not just giving them the raw materials to rebuild. You're also providing the tools, the energy, and the protective shield they need to perform day after day. Now, why does this matter so much for your legs in particular? Because your legs contain some of the largest muscles in your body, and those muscles require more fuel to maintain. Your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves are responsible for almost every movement you make: standing up, walking, climbing stairs, bending down. These big muscles burn through more protein and more nutrients than smaller muscles do, so they're the first to show signs of weakness if your diet isn't supporting them properly. When your legs get the protein and nutrients they need, you'll notice the difference in your daily life. Standing up from a low chair becomes easier. Walking up a hill feels less tiring. Your balance improves, making you more confident on uneven ground. You might even find that aches and pains in your knees and hips become less noticeable because stronger muscles take pressure off your joints. The good news is, getting these nutrients doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as making one smart choice for breakfast. A choice that delivers a balanced combination of high-quality protein and the muscle-supporting vitamins and minerals we've just talked about. This is where the food I'll share with you later in this talk comes in. It's not exotic, it's not expensive, and it's something you can prepare quickly every single morning, yet it has the power to give your legs exactly what they need to resist muscle loss and stay strong for years to come. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s turn their mobility around simply by changing what they eat in the morning. They went from feeling unsteady and tired to feeling stable, energized, and confident in their movements, all because they finally started giving their muscles the full package of nutrients they had been missing. That's the beauty of working with your body's biology instead of against it. So remember, protecting your legs isn't just about movement, though movement is essential. It's also about feeding them the right nutrients every single day. Protein may be the star of the show, but without its supporting cast of vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats, it can't do its job effectively. Give your legs the full team of nutrients they need, and they will reward you with strength, stability, and independence well into the future. And in just a moment, I'm going to tell you about the one morning food that contains many of these nutrients naturally, making it one of the most powerful tools you have to fight muscle loss after 60. It's simple, it's delicious, and when you make it a daily habit, it can truly change the way your legs feel and function. The truth is, when it comes to stopping muscle loss, especially in your legs after 60, the single biggest factor that determines whether you succeed or fail is consistency. You can have the best exercise plan in the world. You can know exactly which foods are the most powerful for your muscles. You can even understand the science down to the cellular level, but if you only do it once in a while, the results will be minimal. Your muscles don't care about sometimes. They respond to what you do day in and day out. Think of your muscles like a savings account. Every time you feed them with the right nutrition, every time you challenge them with movement, you're making a deposit. Those deposits accumulate over time and create a strong balance of muscle tissue that you can rely on. But if you skip too many deposits, if you go days or weeks without giving your muscles what they need, that account starts draining. And once it starts draining, it doesn't take long before the balance is dangerously low. One of the most common mistakes I see in older adults is treating muscle care like a quick fix. They get motivated maybe after a fall or a warning from their doctor, and they go all in for a week or two. They eat better, they walk more, maybe even lift a few weights. But then life gets in the way. A busy week, a vacation, some bad weather, and suddenly they're right back to old habits. The problem is, muscle loss doesn't take a break just because you do. It's happening every single day, quietly but steadily, unless you do something about it. That's why the real secret isn't in dramatic bursts of effort, but in small, consistent actions. I've worked with people who made huge improvements in their leg strength not by doing anything extreme, but by committing to simple daily habits, habits so ingrained that they became as automatic as brushing their teeth. And those habits always included starting the day with the right fuel. Why daily? Because your muscles are constantly in a cycle of breakdown and repair. After 60, the breakdown side of that equation tends to be stronger unless you actively tip the balance in favor of repair, and that tipping needs to happen every single day. Skipping a day might not seem like a big deal, but over time those skip days add up. If you miss just 2 or 3 days each week, that's nearly half the year when your muscles aren't getting the support they need. It's also important to understand that the results you get from building and maintaining muscle are not permanent if you stop the habits that got you there. This is different from something like learning to ride a bike. You can stop for years and still remember how to do it. Muscle strength is more like a garden. You can't water it once and expect it to thrive forever. You have to keep nurturing it. Stop feeding and moving your muscles, and they start to wither, no matter how strong they once were. This is why the morning routine we've been talking about is so powerful. It's not just about giving your legs the right nutrition. It's about creating a daily anchor, a habit you can stick to no matter what else is happening in your life. You might have days when you can't get in a full workout, or when you're traveling, or when the weather keeps you indoors, but you can always make the choice to give your muscles a high-quality, nutrient-rich start in the morning. That one decision, repeated hundreds of times over the course of a year, builds an unshakable foundation of strength. Consistency also gives you something that's harder to measure but just as important: momentum. The first week or two of a new habit can feel like work. You have to remind yourself, push yourself, sometimes even force yourself to do it. But once you've repeated it enough times, it stops being a question of, will I do this today, and starts being, this is just what I do. That shift is when you know you've won, because now your healthy choice is automatic, and that's when the results really start compounding. There's also a mental benefit to daily consistency. Each time you follow through, you reinforce the identity of being someone who takes care of their body. You start to see yourself as strong, capable, and proactive. That self-image makes it easier to keep going, even on the days when you're tired or busy. You're no longer trying to get healthy, you're simply living the lifestyle of a healthy, active person. And here's something remarkable: the improvements you get from consistent action can show up faster than you think. I've seen people notice better balance, less fatigue when walking, and more stability getting out of a chair in as little as 2-4 weeks. Those early wins create motivation to keep going, and over months and years the benefits only grow. Stronger legs mean more independence, fewer limitations, and the ability to keep doing the things you love, whether that's traveling, playing with grandchildren, or just feeling confident walking across a parking lot. On the flip side, inconsistency can undo your progress faster than you expect. If you stop feeding and challenging your muscles, strength starts to decline within weeks. And for someone over 60, regaining lost muscle is harder than maintaining the muscle you already have. That's why I always tell people, make your daily muscle care non-negotiable. Don't wait until you feel weak to start again. Protect what you have and build on it. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. Life will throw curveballs. You might have days when you can't eat exactly what you planned or get in as much movement as you'd like. That's fine. What matters is getting right back to your habits the next day, without letting one off day turn into a week, a month, or a complete stop. Perfection isn't the goal. Persistence is. Think of it like climbing a staircase. You don't have to sprint to the top, and you can pause to catch your breath when you need to. But as long as you keep taking steps, you'll get higher and higher. Stop moving altogether, and you stay stuck, or worse, you slide back down. The beauty of this approach is that it's sustainable. We're not talking about intense, complicated routines that burn you out. We're talking about a simple, powerful morning practice that fuels your legs with the nutrients they need, followed by whatever movement you can fit in during the day. Over time, those small steps build a fortress of strength that keeps you steady and capable for decades. So here's the bottom line. The difference between someone who loses their mobility in their 60s and someone who's still hiking in their 80s often comes down to one thing: the daily choices they made, not the occasional big efforts, but the quiet, consistent actions that became part of their life. Every morning you have the chance to cast a vote for the future you want. Feed your muscles, protect your legs, and do it again tomorrow. Then again the next day, and keep going. Because in the end, it's not the food you eat once or the walk you take once that will save your strength. It's the food you eat every morning, the steps you take every day, the commitment you renew each time you wake up. Consistency is what turns knowledge into results and results into a life of freedom and independence. And that, my friends, is worth showing up for every single day.